Welcome back to the Even If podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Kinsey.
And we have Madison Watkins with us, singer-songwriter, Sony recording artist, American Idol finalist, and one of our really, really sweet friends.
Yeah, she is become quickly like one of our best friends. And I feel like she's one of those girls that you just like, you meet and you're just like, we're going to be friends
Just
for
drawn
life.
to.
You're just drawn
to her.
to. And I think our first meeting was we went on a walk and then I invited her to my birthday dinner that week.
Yeah.
And she came. We've been thick as thieves, I feel like, ever since.
She is somebody who will just pray over you whenever needed. Truly, at the drop of a pin. And I think that's sadly something that's hard to find, of just like, I'm talking to her about something that's going on. She's like, let me just pray. Prays over me. Let me just encourage. She's such an encourager.
She's a fierce
prophesied.
encourager. Yeah.
And
for
I think
sure.
that is such a gift. So we are so excited to have her on here today. Here she is, Madison Watkins.
I love you guys. Thanks for having me.
You guys, we're so excited for y'all to hear from Madison. She is one of our dear friends that we love and adore. And we recently admitted that we are also fangirls of. And I'm okay with that.
So sweet.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no straight up girl crushes. Like we didn't tell her this for a while, but once we were in, we confessed. And I actually, I did tell you once we were like, okay,
Yeah,
we're
we're
the same and we're friends and like we are just soul sisters. Madison, if you ride at Full Ride, you have heard her song in my classes. Your Worthy song got me through some of my hardest days and some of my clients like hardest days. I will literally talk about that song. They're like, when you play that song Worthy, like I listen to it all the time now and I feel like I just heard the spirit and like, yeah. So it's just so crazy to be able to like have a story from your story and then have you be such a big part of my life now. So I just feel so honored to have you in my life, but also here.
Okay, Madison Watkins. We were trying to talk about how we all met. We're not really sure. I think through mutual friends, multiple times, coffee shops, and then we all went on a walk.
Yeah. That's what changed it all.
And then it changed it when we laughed the whole entire time.
It's true.
But Madison Watkins is a singer-songwriter and has a very powerful story. If you guys have seen American Idol, sorry, I'm dropping it right now. She was on American Idol. She was on The Voice. She has an amazing, beautiful story. And y'all are going to get to hear more about her and what the Lord has done in her life and how the Lord is using her. So, Madison, we're so happy you're here.
I'm honored. When they texted me, I was like, guys, I've just been waiting. I was like, I'm going to invite myself if you're going to invite me because I feel grateful. I get to do some cool podcasts throughout my career. But like when you know the people, it's so much better because I'm like, y'all, literally like the entire, past hour, I just was bawling my eyes out on their couch, like weeping, like, this is everything going on in my life. And they're like there for me. And then we get to just talk. I just feel so comfortable. And we're all sharing 2 seats. And that's I'm obsessed.
You guys, if anybody wants to sponsor us and help us with the studio, I know we talk about it. It's been a while since we've asked for sponsors, but we're back. And
we're back with the sponsor ask.
We have 2 chairs, 2 mics, 3 people. We're having a blast.
All for his glory, baby.
All right, well, let's just get into it. Mads, tell us.
I'm not Catholic, but
you just did the sign of the cross.
Yes, sorry.
Okay, no, praise God.
But I love Jesus.
Love Jesus. Tell us just like who you are, about you. When did you first know you wanted to be a singer? When did you, the defining moment of like when you went from the dream of the singer to your actual calling?
Yeah. So I am an Arkansas girl. I grew up in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And I told my parents when I was like 10 years old, please get me a karaoke machine. I want a karaoke machine. And they bought me this CD that had Whitney Houston's voice on it.
That checks out because you sound like Whitney Houston.
First of all, that's so nice.
No, it's so true.
It's not true.
But it's so nice. I tell people that when I'm like, have you heard of Madison Watkins? She sounds like Whitney Houston.
Literally Whitney Houston. No, she really does.
Okay, sorry, carry on.
So nice, but she's amazing. I think she's the best singer of all time. Anyway, so I heard her voice for the first time and I ran into the living room and I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. And my parents were like, what? And I'm like, I want to be the next Whitney Houston. And it's just been so cool to see like how the Lord has brought me from that moment at 10 years old to now 20 years later, I'm 30. And everything I've walked through and just how his promise for me has not been what I thought in any shape, form, anything. I'd never thought that my life would pan out the way that it has, but it's been way better. It's like that verse in Ephesians 3:20, more than you can ask, think, or imagine. I feel like that has just been the story of my life. And so where it changed, I feel like from just like at home singing in my room to beauty pageants, that was my next step, church.
Wow.
And then really when I went out to LA for the first time and tried out, I think I was like 15 or maybe, I don't know how old I was. I was young, in my teens, and I tried out for The Voice, and that was really like where I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And
So you were in high school.
I was in high school.
You're 15. You're doing
I
that.
skipped. I think I skipped my home. What's the first one in the fall? Is it homecoming or prom?
Homecoming.
I skipped homecoming to be on the show.
Wow.
And it ended up, I didn't even make not one person turned around for me. And that was hard because I was like, wait, this is going to be my career. This is what I want to do. But I feel like it lit a fire in me. And I directly went home and started writing and started making my own music because I knew it's what I wanted to do.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy though, even in something like that, that you didn't let that in that moment, because this is who you are. Like you are somebody who's resilient and strong and a warrior. And the fact that you let something like that happen and it didn't turn you away to say like, I'm not doing this. You're like, okay, well, I'm going to go back. I'm going to keep writing. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, what do you think that was? Was that like the Holy Spirit in you pushing you? Was that just your desire, the calling on it? I mean, how do you think, how did you respond that way?
Yeah. I remember in that age around 10, I didn't realize it at the time, but I got a word from God. I thought it was just like I was like, I just had this knowing, and I was like, I don't know if this is like a voice in my head but I told my mom, I said, there's two things in my life that I know 100%. Number one, I'm going to heaven because I accepted Jesus in my heart. And number two, I'm going to be a singer.
Oh,
and that's that's my calling. It was like the Lord told me that. So there has been another 300 times that I have been told. I've actually been on 3 singing reality shows, and all 3 of them I've been kicked off on. America's Got Talent, The Voice, and American Idol.
Wow.
People don't know that. And I was, I guess, like rejected in front of America all 3 times, but they were just stepping stones in my career. And I've been told no a million more times than I've been told yes, but the Lord has just continued to show me that it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the lives that I touch along the way. Or even like you said, I was so honored when I met you and you said that you played worthy in your classes, because that's why I make music. I make music to inspire women and to encourage people and to hopefully bring them closer to the Lord. So it's all about the journey. It really is. And I've noticed that the Lord, each step of the way, rejection or not, he's used me in somebody's life. And that's success.
That's success. So good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Okay, can you share part of your journey that I know about and would love to hear more on this pod is like your journey from starting doing music and starting to make it in this secular world and how the Lord kind of redirected. Will you kind of share what that was like?
And what brought you to Nashville?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was in LA for 8 years. And I really just like hustled. I moved there with $60 in my bank account.
Let's go.
Dropped
That's
out of
hustling.
college.
That is the most artist thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I dropped out of college. I was in a sorority. I was studying broadcast journalism. I was going to be an anchor. That was going to be like my job.
Oh, you would crush that too.
Thank you. So crush that. Thank you. It's actually helped me a lot with like this type of stuff in my career, because now I can do a liner or whatever for radio. Like they're like, can you say this? And I'm like, yes, I can. I'm used to doing this. Yeah. So I was studying that. I dropped out of school after my sophomore year. So I went to college for 2 years, moved to LA with no money, just got odd jobs. And I was like, I am going to just figure this out. Like this is what God told me to do, and I'm going to do it. What was the question again?
No, yeah. Well, because you started not in like the secular industry, right?
Oh, yeah. So then I moved to, thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
So then I moved to Arkansas to LA. And then, I started throughout the years, I was in the pop space, only writing pop records. I did American Idol. After that, I got a record deal for my pop music. And throughout that whole thing, I just realized that the promise that God had given me, I was taking it and I was using it all for my glory and all for myself and not his glory. And so in a series of events, it was the morning of like my sold out first show in LA. Like this was like, after this as an artist, you like get bigger tours and whatever. And it was kind of like that rising to become successful or make it in the pop world. And I woke up that day and it was supposed to be like the best day of my life. And I woke up with full body shingles all over.
Stop.
So like blisters. And I was like, I think there's spiders in my house.
Kidding.
But turns out it was shingles. And it was the Lord's way of showing me that I couldn't take it anymore. Like I was striving. I was doing it all in my glory, for my glory. And it was all about me. And I was turning into this sex symbol in a way that it wasn't the Lord's calling on my life. And so I remember that day I did the show and just, it was the Lord's strength. I sang through just that pain because it's like nerve pain too. And
It's crazy.
it's crazy because I sang the best, probably the best I've sang ever. And it was because it was only from his strength and not mine. And then the day after I heard him say, stop, give it back to me. Like, this is your Abraham, Isaac moment. And I gave it all up. I had contracts at the time, like with Puma, and I had done all these different things with like brand deals and stuff like that. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I stopped everything and I didn't work for 8 months, which sounds like absolutely insane because it was, but I knew I had to be obedient or else like I was disobeying God because I heard him say, stop until I tell you to go.
Wow.
And I had no more information after that. So, so I did basically just lived off my savings for that whole time.
Are you still in LA?
Still in
This
LA.
time? Okay.
And I went out to Maui to visit a friend during that time and really just spend time with the Lord. And during that time, the Lord told me before I went to Maui, host a worship night there. And I was like, I don't know anyone there. Like I'm going like on a retreat. And when I get there, the fires happened. So the whole island is burning down.
You're kidding.
And I hosted a worship night for all the people that lost their home.
Madison.
You were used, sister.
It's crazy.
Wow.
So in that worship night, I felt like the Lord said, I want you, I'm gonna give it back to you. I'm gonna give you back this career, but I want it. It's like the Abraham Isaac, like, will you give it to, like, will you kill it?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And I did. I was like, you can have it all. I said, if you never want me to sing again, I'll never sing again. Like, I'll literally go get like a completely different job. Like, whatever you want me to do, Lord, I'll work at a restaurant, whatever you want me to do. And he said, like, I'm going to give it back to you, but I want it all for my glory. And I want it all for me. The songs, the team that you build around you, all believers. And so I did. I literally, long story short, came to Nashville I was supposed to be here for 3 days, stayed for 2 weeks. I ended up meeting with Sony Music, and the rest is history. Like the Lord has brought me here, and now I'm working on an entire Christian project.
What does faith, Christianity, what does that look like in the music industry? Is that hard, or do you feel like it's easier being in Nashville, or what's that been like? Because you said like when you were in LA, you were such a sex symbol, and I feel like that's how you make it there, right? You probably have to lose yourself,
Yeah.
right? To
Yeah.
make it.
I think that my biggest fear in being in Christian music was I can't fake anything. And sometimes I had seen in the past different Christian artists that I personally, it's not to knock on anybody, but I just personally was like, is that real? Like, is that really you? And is that really your relationship with God? Or is this a brand? And I can't do that. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And I also didn't feel, it's just the whole like making money off of Jesus thing was weird for me. Like it was all very weird for me. But then the Lord has shown me through each thing, like This is for my glory. Like, just let me show you. In every little area, let me show you how it's done. But I think what's cool about Nashville is I feel like I do have a body of believers around me now that understand my mission. And I think what's so cool, I also have a lot of friends that don't believe in Jesus, and they also understand my mission. And they also love my mission. Even if they don't agree with it, they respect that I'm on a mission. But I think what's cool about being in Nashville and being in the Christian music industry is I have like-minded people, like anybody. Like I talk about, like, even my friends that are in different lifestyles, they move different places to be around people that are like-minded.
Right.
Whether that's Christian or not, like you move where people are like-minded. And I feel like moving here is so awesome, because I was driving home last night and on the Franklin Square, they were doing a worship service like out in the open. And I'm like,
that's Franklin.
This is where I live. But like in LA, like I never saw that, you know? And so no harm, no foul. But it's refreshing for me, loving Jesus, to be around people that agree with me and believe the same things that I believe.
I feel like I'm just sitting here in awe of you and I'm not asking any questions. I'm just like, wow, that's so good. That's so good. I'm just like, it's such girl crush. And just love you. And just like, you are so powerful and wise. And obviously we are gifted to know you outside of just like your music career. I would ask you, like, how do you structure your days practically as a musician? I'm just so curious about what that looks like. Like, because I know you're your own CEO in a way. Like, you're an entrepreneur. You're also like responsible for your own brand, making sure it's authentic to you. And so we obviously are in Nashville, lots of songwriters. But how do you do that practically? What does your day-to-day look like? And then how do you do that as a Christian artist and like warrior godly woman too? And how is that tension for you?
It's a lot. No, it's a lot. Like, it really is a lot. But I think that's a great question, and it's a question I get all the time. People are like, what do you do every day? And I think for artists, there's different seasons for each section of your career. So like right now I'm in the album making, content making section of my career. So like this whole year I've been in the studio like almost 5 days a week. It's like, you know, I go in the studio every day. And so I have like my Google Calendar, to break it down, is like packed on like, just like, okay, 9 to 10 I have a meeting with the marketing director at Sony, and then 10 to 2 I go to my write, and then I might have an event at night, or I might have a show of another artist that I go. And so really it's different sections. So right now I'm in album season, which means like most days I'm in the studio. When the album's done, then I'm going to be in like music video marketing season. So it's like sense. Shooting all that, having all those meetings, and then touring season. So then I'll be on the road touring the music, and then you kind of just do it all over again.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So to answer your question about just being a believer too, though, I think it's easy to be in the Christian music industry and forget about Jesus, which I think is crazy.
That is crazy.
Because it can become like a to-do list instead of like putting it back on the altar. So for me, I have to make sure every single day when I wake up, I'm in the Word, I'm praying throughout the day. Even during sessions, some sessions I'll say like, hey guys, let's open this up like with prayer. Let's bring the Holy Spirit. Or if like we're writing lyrics and I'm like, I just feel like I can't, I'm having like a writer's block, literally in the session, I'll be like, Holy Spirit, will you give me this line? Holy Spirit, will you give me this bridge? Wow, what do you want me to say right now? And it always comes in like 10 minutes. I'm like, like me. And then like I work with a lot of co-writers, and like we're just bouncing off, and I'm like, what about this? And what about, and God is the most creative being. He created creativity. He created it. So we have access to that. And so constantly all day,
I love that.
I'm just like, hey, I need more. I need more. But I think that starting the day, and I remember you hear that in like youth group, right? It was like, start your day with a quiet time. But the reason why you do that is for me, is because it infuses into the rest of my day.
Yeah, that's good.
That's absolutely. Good. So, absolutely. Wow. That's so, do you think that a lot of Christian artists invite the Holy Spirit into their writing, or do you think that that's not as common as we might think it is?
No, I think they do.
Okay.
And I think people always ask me to like, how many Christian artists are the real deal? And I will say that most of them are the real deal.
Yeah.
And I think because you can't be in this industry and
I was
fake
going to
it,
say, that would be way too hard.
it always comes to the light.
Mm-hmm.
The truth always comes to the light. And I think that there's more spiritual warfare being a Christian artist. There's more pushback being a Christian artist.
Real.
And so if you're not in it for the Lord, like for me, I'm like, go just be a mainstream artist. I've done that. And you can completely
It's
like,
easier.
it's-
Isn't it?
it-
easier to
It's
take-
got to be
just
easier. Yeah.
Take
You
your
just-
clothes off, get attention.
yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh, 100%. Do
Yeah.
it for the check,
Yeah.
you know? And like
Yeah.
transparently, I was making a lot more money. And the worldly things that we all want, our flesh wants, I had more of those. But I'm so much more at peace and so much happier with the life that I'm living now.
Amazing. I love how you're just
Wow.
following what he's called you to do. I would love to also be a fly on the wall in a songwriting session.
Literally.
Just like, 'cause
Yeah.
I know like your songs have truly brought me to tears. And I think you have a way, and even just hearing you say that, just saying, I invite the Holy Spirit in. I'm like, that's why I'm brought to tears when I hear it, because
Yeah.
it's put in through your music, transferred into, I was going to say a CD. Can we just call that a CD, a tape?
Yes.
Or a record.
A record, yeah.
It's put on there and then into my ears, and I'm hearing it, and it's like, wow, the Holy Spirit spoke to you, through you, to me. What a gift. And the song that Kenzie's talking about, Worthy. I mean, there have been so many songs, your whole album, Rooted. Like there's so many beautiful songs you have that I listen to and I just weep. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is words that you are using, that you are speaking, that the Lord has given you. And I'm curious, like, what's that like? I know that you said you're in a season right now of you're writing, right?
Yes.
You're working on an album.
Yes.
So you have writer's block. You're in the Word every day. I mean, what is that like to do that? Is this journey take a long time? I mean, I can imagine it's your creativity. It's waiting on the Lord's timing. It's waiting for things to come. You're not rushing it. Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I don't call myself like a patient person. And you can ask like my boyfriend. I'm not. Yeah, that's not a gift that I have. The Lord has been working on me, because I think as an artist, like people don't realize how patient you have to be, because sometimes it takes 2 years to have an album come out, because people think, this is also something that I think is very interesting if you're not an artist to know, but people think that you write 10 songs and you put out 10 songs. You really write 100 songs and you put out 10 songs.
Shut up. So there's so many songs out there in the archives that we don't know about.
Yeah, and that's the worst part about being friends with me, because I will show you a song and it might never come out.
Stop.
But you can have the demo on your phone and just listen to it.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's the best part of
I
being
got
friends.
some demos on my phone. I'm like,
Yeah.
The demos.
No, but I think that but a lot of my friends have been like, it's never coming out. Like, why? But I think something too that with the art is things have to be cohesive. So I write all different types of songs, but really an album, you want it to all sound cohesive, like it all goes together. And I will have a song that sounds like super upbeat and poppy, and then I'll have like a gospel record, and they're both really good songs, but on an album it might kind of throw you off sound wise. So sound wise, cohesive, they have to go together. But I think that in this process of writing this album, it's teaching me a lot about myself, and the Lord is showing me patience, and the Lord is showing me trusting Him. I'm like, I feel like the Lord gave me a word when I was 10, and I still don't feel like my full ministry that He's told me that I'm going to have has fully taken off yet. Like really full send, like, okay, I'm in the middle of when He was like 30 and He was like, okay, my ministry starts now. And then He was 33 and He did it for those 3 years. Yeah. I feel like I'm at the beginning of that, but I'm not even fully in my ministry yet. So I feel like I've been waiting for about 20 years for my word from God to happen, which is really crazy. But I think He's like everybody in the Bible, they've all had to wait 20, 40, 100 years, Noah. But I think that it's taught me so much about the character of God, that he's not going to allow anything to happen before it's time, because I wouldn't be ready for it. And I know that about myself, and even stuff I'm learning now, because being on the front lines as an artist is hard. And I even got a comment on my Instagram today that like, I literally just wanted to punch the wall. Like, I was like, why would you say that about me? But even that, the Lord's teaching me, like, your character's gotta be locked in.
I was gonna say, I can't imagine being famous, because people probably they feel like they can just say, you have so many followers, people look up to you, people don't know you, and so they can just think they say whatever they want online, like you're not an actual person. I bet that's so hard, and how you do have to. I mean, the Lord has called you to a high calling, and that requires a high patience. Because I can imagine I would want to punch him too. Like, you're reading these comments.
Yeah.
From people that you don't know, that think they have a right to tell you what they think about something. Like
the comment today, and I'll just share this because I think it's really funny, because I'm open that I have a boyfriend online and stuff, but I called my boyfriend and I was like, can you believe somebody commented a picture of us? It was like happy, I always said happy birthday to him. And somebody commented. Birthday? No, it was like a past post, but like it just like they commented today or something, and it came up. I was gonna
give him a shout out.
Happy birthday! Yeah, but it said future single mom.
Oh my!
And I was like, also they're going back to scroll. First of all, it wasn't like a recent one, and they have
but it's crazy because like that cuts deep, but people know. They know how to get you in the gut, because it's not like your hair's ugly. It's like something like attacking like your relationship or like your future. And people feel like they can say whatever they want.
See, that's what's crazy. You're in this Christian industry, which seems like it should be all like, bells and whistles. Is that the phrase?
like
rainbows and butterflies.
Rainbows and butterflies.
I think rainbows and butterflies.
And bells and whistles too.
It's like bells and whistles and rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah.
But it's like you're still a public figure, and that still gets comments and things, and you have to stand strong in that. And something I love about you is I feel like you are such a strong woman, and you, I think I said this earlier, but you're so resilient, and I can only imagine that comes from time with the Lord and asking him for strength in that.
Yeah. And I even think like moments like that, like Lisa Bevere said this last week when we were at her thing. It was like, she said that her whole, like the last 20 years, she's like, I just want to be like the heroes in the Bible. But she talked about how she's like, I forgot that every hero in the Bible had to go to war. Why is my voice sounding so weird?
No, I don't know, but I'm just laughing because it's so real.
Yeah. But it's like, like every single hero in the Bible fought a war, went to battles. And so I just think, we can look at our life and we can look at it based on like our circumstances and decide whether it's good or bad, or we can say, no, the Lord is literally testing me, stretching me, deepening my character, like increasing my faith. And that has been your story. Anyone that doesn't even know you, but just looks at you, you are so real. You are so authentic. Why are you laughing at me?
No, I'm laughing thinking about how real she is. Like if you follow,
she's so real. She's hilarious. She makes me cackle.
Talking in accent,
and that's really who she is in real life, which makes her even more beautiful. And like we just love her so much. But
I love you guys.
You also are such a warrior. Like you really are, and you have changed. This is not in our notes or anything like that, but just truly you've changed my life already in the short time that I've known you. We met and I invited her that week to my birthday dinner. I was like, you need to come. I just felt, I was like, I thought on it.
So honored.
And I was like, I really, in my heart, there's a few people, Sarah's one of them. I have a couple other girlfriends that I've met over the course of my life where it's just like very instant, it's just like that soul sister connection. And that's how I felt about you immediately. And so then I like texted Madison. I was like, no pressure, but if you want to come to my birthday dinner. And the way that you speak into my life and the way that you have prayed over me and the way that you've spoken to Sarah and I and just our singleness and us not being married yet, like that has profoundly changed the way that we even talk on this podcast, how we interact with each other. And so what you're doing and who Madison is both on and off screen is like she's the real deal. But that's what you are. You are a warrior for the kingdom, and what you're doing is changing. I mean, I have clients that literally from one song are like, yeah, that song helped me get through my divorce. I have like one client that said that. And so yeah, I just think like that's what what is so true about, I think, strong women and having wisdom in that strength. You have wisdom in that strength, and you got to go to battle even when there's these freaking, what do you call them that stalk on Instagram? Trolls. The trolls.
Okay, maybe you could share that for
Haters.
the haters. Madison, maybe you could share that, just something for our listeners, like ways that you stay grounded spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever that looks like, because I think your industry can be so up and down, right? Like, how's this album going to do? How's this going? Like, I can imagine there's a lot of those highs and lows. And I think Kenzie and I talk often on this podcast about highs and lows, whether it's tension we feel between two things of singleness is fun and all the freedom, and also I really desire to be married. And like, you know, the highs and lows. And I think you experience that often in your career. And what would you say are things that you do that other people could relate to, of how do you stay steady in your faith? I mean, you talked about your quiet time. Like, what does that look like? What's like, let us in on your relationship with the Lord.
Yeah. I'm not good at that. So like, transparently, I am so emotional because I'm an artist. And so I feel the high highs and I feel the low lows. But I think always when I ask the Lord for perspective. That's my big thing. It's like when you're on a plane and you look down, you can see perspective of like the world, and like the cars are tiny and you can't even see human because they're so small. And I ask the Lord, like, will you give me perspective here? Will you give me an eternal perspective? Because when I do that and I zoom out of like, when I'm 80, like it's not that deep what the album artwork looks like. Wow. It's really like no one really cares. You know what I mean? Like, and so I think sometimes we look at life like right here, and it's like, if you ask the Lord, like just kind of, like there's so much, and there's so like, this is just a season. And even like in singleness, like so funny because I was telling our friend Summer the other day, like right before I met Eli, I remember I was cutting a lemon in my house, and I literally like threw the knife down, and I was like, God, like I'm done with this. Like I was like, when am I gonna meet my husband? And I kid you not, like, so y'all might try this. No, I'm just kidding.
We're about to go cut some.
But like 2 days later, like tonight. Or whatever it was, like, and I remember people telling those stories, and I was just like, whatever. It hasn't happened to me yet. But like I threw the knife down, and I'm just like, when am I gonna meet him? And then like I think I met him that week. Like it was literally a couple days later I met him. But that perspective of like, this is just a season, and seasons we think are so long. Like 10 years to us is like literally not even 1 second for God. Yeah. And so I think a perspective shift. And I will look at all the seasons of my life, and I'll even look back on like my career in LA, and I'm like, I can't even remember the things that I'm stressing out about right now. I don't even remember those from those seasons. So it's really not that important, or it's not that deep. And even with like the hate or whatever, even recently I got a bunch of hate over a post I did after Charlie Kirk's death. And like, the things I was reading and like what people were saying about me, it was so cool for me because Madison 5 years ago would have been devastated. But Madison today was like, oh, this has happened to me before. This is just season. I'll move on. And I'm like, everyone's going to forget about me. And they did. And I was so grateful. Like, I'm like, please forget about me. Like talking about this issue or whatever it is. So I think it's just perspective, having perspective on it.
An eternal perspective.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. What about like, sorry, I'm asking the questions.
I'm not doing a good job as a host.
I'm
so into this.
Oh, it's so funny because like, I feel the same way about you.
I'm like, what?
And like when I go to your classes, like I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I feel so cool to be here. Like she's the instructor, and like I'm just like in the back, like trying to keep up. And I'm like, y'all are my girl crushes too. Touche. So yeah.
Okay, so what have you been writing recently? And does the Lord prompt you? And then do you write in a journal? Do you sit down at your piano? And then how does that one come to you? Second of all, do you ever feel confliction of like, do you want people to know about certain things? Because I sometimes in classes on a very tiny scale, this is not even I can't even relate to you, but I talk a lot about in classes things that I'm going through, but they don't know I'm going through it. And so obviously it relates to people, but sometimes it can feel really vulnerable to share things that I'm struggling with in classes. And so I'm curious if you ever feel that confliction. One, how does the Lord speak to you in that? And two, like, are there things that you'll write about and you won't share? Or are there things that you write about and you want to speak and share about? Does that question make sense?
Yes. Yeah. I'll answer it. And then if there's more you want to know, ask me more,
Okay,
because I was trying to track with everything you're saying. But yes, there is. I think there's always, how much do I share? What do I share? How much do I make this about just praising the Lord, and how much do I share my own story? Because I think something too, some songs I'm like, I just want this all to be about how great Jesus is. But then some songs I need them to be about my story and how God's worked through them.
Yeah.
I think I'm always conflicted because also what I put out affects people. Like I remember I wrote a song about a friend, and it was kind of a negative song, to be really honest with you. I was like 20 and I wrote it, and it came out, and she didn't want to be friends with me anymore after it came out. And I totally understand why. It was just how I felt in the season. But that's what's hard with art, is because I didn't feel like that about her later, but I felt like that in the moment when I was at my piano. And so sadly, I lost, she's one of my closest friends, and I lost that friendship because it really deeply hurt her. But it's hard as an artist, because it's like Taylor Swift, like every single song she writes is about like an ex or something, and that's her content. And I'm sure she doesn't wake up every day and say like, I want to ruin someone's life. She's just, it just comes out of you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely do feel conflicted, and even getting vulnerable about things that have happened in my life that are really gnarly. Sometimes I'm like, this is, even for the Christian music industry, like I feel like until now the Christian music industry, everyone's kind of been like, I sin, but it's like, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? Or it's like I've struggled. It's like, with what? Like, and I think that's like why, like, I think the Lord's put me in this industry, because I'm like, here's what it is. Like, if y'all were wondering, like, I'm like, I'll talk about it, whatever you want. Like, I think I pretty much, at this point, before I wasn't, but I think the Lord has grown me in my faith to where I'm like, what do you want to know? And I think something that Kinsey is saying without saying is, I was sharing when I first got here, I had a really traumatic experience with sexual assault, and I last night was processing it, and I was at my piano, and I literally just played chords on my piano, and I just started singing. Like, it didn't rhyme, it didn't make sense, it didn't sound good, but I just was processing what had happened to me. And it was something that I realized, and this is the first time I'm ever even talking about this, but I was like, I need to write a song about this. And I'm going to text one of my co-writers that I want him, because he and I are just like brother and sister, and he knows a lot about my past. And I thought, I need to write a song about this. And it doesn't matter if it makes people feel uncomfortable, or we don't do this, or this is not it doesn't matter. Like, this is what the Lord is sharing to me, and I need to share it to the world, because I know there's a lot of men and women that have experienced deep levels of trauma, whether it's sexual assault, whether it's family stuff, dysfunctional families, addiction, whatever it is. And I think that it's 2025. We have to get real.
Amen.
Like, we're not vague about anything. We're not vague about Jesus and the truth of Jesus and who he is, and that he's the only way. So why would I beat around the bush with my songs?
And what I think is so cool about that is, like, when you're even saying, Kenzie, you said something about like, is it hard to decide when it's like about you or sharing your stuff or about God? But it's like you sharing that stuff, what that song is going to be. I can't even imagine, but I know that because of what's happened to you, like the questions you're asking God, the things that it's brought you to, the woman that you are, the questions, the comfort it brings talking to other people about it that have experienced similar things. Like there's just like God uses our stories as testimonies to glorify him.
Wow.
And I think
Good.
that is what you do when you share songs that are about you, but your story, you are living for him. So I think that points back to him and reflects back to him. And I think even just having that awareness, like Kenzie and I will talk about that when we share about ourselves on this podcast. We're like, what's the point? We're not trying to talk about ourselves on here, but we want to talk about the Lord. But if we have to use our story, use our singleness, whatever it is, but how can we point that back to you, God? And we're sharing this to let other people know you're not alone. And if you're sharing a song, Madison, about other girls, men, women, whoever, not feeling alone because of assault, sexual assault, then praise God, because that is something that needs to be shared, because that is of the enemy, that is evil.
Yeah.
And thank you that you can let us feel seen in that. So I can't wait to hear that song.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel so lucky right now because the songs that I'm writing are some of the best songs I've ever written. And I think the reason why is because the Lord has allowed me, I think for the past year, to get to write almost every day. So I think he's made the muscle stronger and better. I think with anything, the more we work at it,
So good.
God allows us to get better. But I also think because I've gotten to a place in my life where I'm not afraid to talk about anything. And
Love that.
I always say, like, I'm an open book, and that's what I feel like God uses in my life. And I'm honored that you said, you know, who I am on Instagram or whatever is who I am in person. That's all I want, because I want people when they come to my shows, I want the people that meet me afterward to be able to share their stories with me and know that they're talking to the same person that they know online. And it's not like a front. It's not a brand. It's who God has made me to be. And hopefully I can encourage them through what I've gone through.
Yeah, you're freaking incredible. Okay, I do have a question.
I feel about y'all.
Just really.
Yeah.
Okay, I am curious. What song of yours means the most to you personally right now, and why?
That's a good question. Oh, I think probably two songs. The first that come to mind. Number one, my song Letting Go, which it's really fun as an artist because Letting Go is like the least streamed song on my EP, I think, but it's like one of my favorites. So it's cool because some songs are not hits, but they're your favorite songs. And I think that song constantly reminds me, give it to the Lord. Let go and let God. Like, it's just, I know that my sinful nature, trying to control as a woman, that's our default. It's so easy to do that. And in every area of my life, I just say, okay, Lord, I give it. I give up. Like, I'm letting go. That one. And then my song Someday.
Oh my gosh.
That
I
is
think I just cried over that one. Did I send it to you?
She sent it to me. She's like, use this for my reel, please.
I'm dead.
I was like, on it.
Yeah. That song.
So good.
I wrote that before I met my boyfriend, which, Lord willing, that's where our relationship's going to lead. But I was really discouraged after I got out of a relationship with a man that I was about to get engaged to, that ended up not working out and being pretty abusive situation. I was so discouraged, and I was like, there's no one out there for me. Like, there's literally no one out there for me. And I got in the right that day, and I just told the songwriters that, and I was like, I need hope. Selfishly, I need hope for my future husband, and so I'm going to write this song to him, and one day I can show it to him. So, wedding video.
Let's go.
Hopefully I'll use that on there.
Oh my gosh, we're going to use it on there when it's our turn.
Lord willing.
Well, Madison, this is so fun. And thank you for being on here. I also feel like we could have gone so many avenues with this. Like, I want to go deeper into your song lyrics. I want to go deeper into your relationship with Eli, because you have encouraged me in my singleness and the way that you've waited for a man, and like who Eli is, and the things that you encourage me in that. Like, I feel like that could be a whole episode. The way that you pray over people and you encourage people on the spot is such a gift. And I've seen that time and time again. We'll just be literally walking in downtown Franklin. Can I pray for you? I'm like, huh? Oh, here we go. She's doing it. I mean, that happens in downtown Franklin, or it happens in the privacy of her home, praying over people. And that is something I just adore about you. And I just feel like, this podcast could have gone 100,000 ways. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being on it. Thank you for being our friends.
Yeah, thank you for being our friend.
Thank you for being mine. I love you guys.
Love you.
I love you
I'm
guys.
just so proud of you and honored to do life with you.
I just think
feel
it's so
like
cool.
that with
And
you.
I want to also encourage listeners. I think about this, like, as I'm looking at two superstars right now, like whether you
We're looking back at one, honey.
like, but that's what I'm
Superstar.
feeling right now. Like, that's what I'm feeling like the Lord is just sharing is you're like, we're saying, Madison, you have this huge platform on stage in front of thousands of people that you sing to. And that's what God's called you to. Kenzie, you're in a room full of 20, 30 people, and that's what God's called you to. I'm in a season right now where I do one-on-one coaching with girls, and that's what God's called me to. And it doesn't matter how big our stage is, but God can use all of that. And I just think I'm so grateful to be surrounded by women who were like, whatever it is, if it's one person or if it's thousands of people, like you can use your gift, just like whatever God has called you to do and doing it for him. And all of our things we could do not for him, you know? And I think
So true.
Yeah,
it's so easy not to. And so just keeping each other in check, keeping each other in line. How's songwriting going? Hey, what's going on in your classes? What are you doing in your sessions? Like just being aware of that and encouraging one another. So I just,
Can I say something too?
Yeah.
I think what's cool about it is like, when I spend time with you guys help me minister to those people. And that's you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's all this like circular, like, it's like I pour into you, you pour into somebody else, and that pour, like, it's like that and hopefully I can encourage you so that you can go into your classes and you can do your ministry. Hopefully I can be a good friend to you and listen to you and be there for you so that when you have that one-on-one coaching, you can be filled up and you can pour into these younger girls. And then when you guys pour into me, it allows me to go out and do my ministry. And I feel like I have an army behind me. So I think it's like, that's what we were talking about that earlier. That's why we need community. And my deepest downfall is I isolate myself when I'm hurting. And that's literally the enemy's playground. We need each other. And I think we get scared. I get scared of like, I can't get too close to people because they're going to see that I'm freaking sinful and I'm just like a mess. And like, I might hurt their feelings and they may never want to talk to me. You know what I mean? But it's like, actually, no. Community is so good to love each other, to fight with each other, to get through conflict together, to get on the other side, because that builds strong relationships.
Yes.
And it teaches us grace, and it helps us to learn things for our ministry that we need every day.
yes, love that.
That's so good. That's
And
so
on that
good.
note, we have to wrap because we have girls' night
We
tonight.
have girls' night.
All right, well,
love
this
you
is how we
guys.
wrap. Y'all know the drill.
Time for quesadillas.
Yes.
Even if.
What's
you want to be a part of it?
Yeah, teach me.
Oh, can you sing it? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
This is how we do it.
Okay, what is
You
it?
have
What
to
is
end
it?
it and we say, and remember, even if he is still good. So you can just sing it to your tune.
What tune?
Your tune.
And remember, even if he's still good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But like, are you going to sing
This
it?
is so corny. Like singing it.
And remember, even if. Okay, you can just say that.
And remember, even if he's still good. Is that it?
That's going to be. I should do
Every
that
time. And remember, even if he's still good.
Did you just say it was corny? That's our closer every time.
No. Not y'all, not the words.
No.
What's corny is when I'm like trying to come up with a melody that's like corny. Like it sounds really cool when it's like, even if, like when you say it, but when you're like, even if, like, I'm like, what do I sing right now? Like just making up a melody on the spot. Like I know I'm a songwriter, but I'm not that good. All right, 1, 2, 3. Even if he is still good.